Hi dear students, welcome back to another session of English. I know we are left to complete the exercises of section 2, but as your unit tests are going on, we will do the exercises later. Today we are going to see section 3, that is the banyan tree. Throughout the chapter we have been learning about trees. Here with this poem we are completing the chapter. The poem, The Banyan Tree, is written by Rabindranath Tagore. We have already learned about him in Standard 5th. Which poem? Yes, Day by Day I Float My Paper Boat. Rabindranath Tagore wrote the national anthem of India and Bangladesh. He won the Nobel Prize for his work Gitanjali. Now, let's start the poem. First, I will read the entire poem and then we will learn in detail each stanza. Let us start the banyan tree. Oh, you shaggy-headed banyan tree, standing on the bank of the pond. Have you forgotten the little child, like the bird that have nested in your branches and left you? Do you not remember how he sat at the window and wondered at the tangle of your roots that plunged underground? The woman would come to fill the jars in the pond, and your huge black shadow would wriggle on the water like sleep struggling to wake up. Sunlight danced on the ripples like restless tiny shuttles weaving golden tapestry. Two ducks swam by the weedy margin about their shadows, and the child would sit still and think. He longed to be the wind and blow through your rustling branches, to be your shadow and lengthen with the day on the water, to be a bird and perch on your topmost twig, and to float like those ducks among the weeds and shadows. The poem is written by Rabindranath Tagore. Now, let us understand each stanza. Let's move to the first one. Oh, you shaggy-headed banyan tree, standing on the bank of the pond, have you forgotten the little child, like the bird that have nested in your branches and left you? Dear students, in the first stanza itself, we will get a difficult word, that is shaggy. What does shaggy mean? Yes, shaggy means long and untidy. So, in the first stanza, the poet addresses the long, untidy banyan tree on the bank of a pond, and the poet asks something. What does the poet ask? Yes, have you forgotten the little child? Now, here, he compares the child with the birds who once lived on the branches of the tree and now flew away. Let's move to the next stanza. Do you not remember how he sat at the window and wondered at the tangle of your roots that plunged underground? Dear students, you all know the speciality of the banyan tree. The banyan trees have twisted roots that grows from the branches and goes back to the ground. So as a child, the poet used to sit at the window and wonder about this tangled or the twisted roots of the banyan tree. Now let's go to the next stanza. The woman would come to fill their jars in the pond, and your huge black shadow would wriggle on the water like sleep struggling to wake up. Now, students, long ago in the villages, the women used to go to the rivers and ponds with their jars to fill water. Now the villages have the facilities of well and the water reaches to every single house. Here, the poet remembers that when the women used to dip their jars into the pond, the huge shadow of the tree would wriggle, means it would shake, and It looked like someone who is trying to wake up from sleep. Let's move to the next stanza. Sunlight danced on the ripples like restless tiny shuttles weaving golden tapestry. So, dear students, the sunlight on the waves of the pond looked like the tiny shuttles. Now, what is shuttles? They are actually the pointed tools used for making clothes. Now, here it looked like the tiny shuttles that is used for making the clothes weaving a golden pattern. Let's go to the next stanza. Two ducks swam by the weedy margin above the shadows, and the child would sit still and think. Students, how many ducks are we talking about? Yes, two ducks. The two ducks used to swim in the pond, and the little boy would sit and think. What the boy used to think? Let us see. He longed to be the wind and blow through your rustling branches. So, now dear students, the boy wishes to be the wind and blow through the branches of banyan tree. Then, to be your shadow and lengthen with the day on the water. So, he also wants to be the shadow of the tree that grows as the day passes. Then, to be a bird and perch on your topmost twig. So he wants to also be a bird and sit on the topmost branch of the tree. And let's go to his last wish. And to float like those ducks among the weeds and shadows. So he also wants to be like the two ducks and swim in the pond among the weeds that grow in the pond and the shadow of the tree. And the image given over here is the image that is given in your textbook. So dear students, this was an easy poem. Now here we can say that the banyan tree stand for the permanence, and the women, the birds and the ducks stand for the changes that comes in your life. So we finished the poem here. No homework for today as your unit tests are going on. So all the best for your unit test. Bye.